Hey, what's up? Okay, so wait, is the camera? Okay, yeah, that's all. All right, I'm back and I'm doing another video, right? So this video, I'm talking about timeline jumping. I actually did a video on this before where I talked about accessing different timelines. Um, for me, I'm gonna say this. Like I say this, and I will continue to say this because for me, I just believe that it's all about perspective. It's in perception when it really boils down to it, because you can take um one person's perception of what a timeline is, what time even is, period. And it's going to be different from another person's perception. And you guys see, every time I try to read your mind, when you try to challenge me, and this is good. I welcome the challenge. Don't get me wrong. If it's genuine, okay. But see, this is the thing. Think about this history lessons. Okay, even just think about what history, like his story is somebody else's story. And since we were describing history or these series of events that played out, and it happens to be experiences from the past, and men were mostly dominating the era, it became his story. Nothing but a story. Now, his story, one person's story of the way some event played out is going to be different from the story that somebody else um, has, or the way they see it. So literally, you can take five different people, you can take them from different backgrounds, walks of life, whatever you want to call it, and you stick them in a situation, especially if you stick them all in an unknown situation, maybe except for one, right? And you can literally, you don't even have to do that, but I'm just trying to be dramatic here. And you stick them all in different situations, maybe except for one, they're all going to have a different story. The one that's familiar, or the most familiar with the current situation, is probably going to explain it like, oh yeah, this is great, this is the best way to be, this is the best way to do things, or either, hey, we need some serious change. Okay, but the point is, it's going to be more um concrete versus someone that's experiencing it from a place of like this unknown place, this place of where things are unfamiliar. They may describe things like, okay, yeah, this was a little strange, it was a little weird, I really didn't know what was going on. Okay, same thing with a timeline. A timeline is just a moment or a series. This is how I explain it, guys, because I want you to think of it just like this. Okay, a stream, a stream. Now, listen, when the internet, the internet evolving to the state of being that is in currently, y'all, I have came across so many different people from different walks of life, and I mean, consciously, unconsciously, subconsciously, bypassing, I have came across individuals, a few of them, to where I was looking at them and I'm like, wow, like in the eyes, just coming across a video that they posted or something like that. And I'm just like, wow, this person, this being is not from here. Is really not like, there's some gate open. Well, we did a shift in time. Okay. So that's one thing, but literally, it doesn't matter. Even though I'm really into metaphysics and astrology and like the science of it and everything, it's still sometimes when I'm just here and I'm just doing my thing, I'll forget. I will leave out of that mindset and I'll just be one of the experiencers. And, I've came across individuals, like I said, to where I'm looking at them and I'm like, wow, this person is not from here. Now, some of y'all could be looking at me and saying the same thing. And some of y'all could be looking at other people and saying the same thing, vice versa. But it's like literally you can look into their eyes and you can see like another place, another dimension, another being in there. And I don't want to go too deep, but what I am saying is that it's like a stream. It's like the internet um combined or conjoined, okay, all of these different timelines that cross each other. Now we are hearing and we are seeing and we are in contact with or coming across individuals that we would not normally come across. So time, okay, just to put it like this, the way that I'm seeing the timeline, time, in any moment of time where you're at right now, time is happening, right? This is just a moment in this whole time thing construct, that you could say we created, but then at the same time, even if we didn't have a clock, we will have a sun and a moon. Okay, we will have the seasons. Okay, so wherever we're at in this moment of time, right, or wherever you're at, you're watching or you're listening to me. Okay, you are listening to information that you may not even go to a school or you may not even access in your local or close proximity, right? So when you are in this place at a specific place at a specific time, what you are doing is you're accessing a certain timeline of events. It's like a stream. It's just continuously happening. You wouldn't even know that I existed if you did not have access to this stream of information, like to the internet, to the Wi-Fi. I would still be existing, you would still be existing, but you would be existing on your timeline of events. I'm existing on mine. Okay. And when we come across or we cross each other's paths, then that's when we notice, like, hey, what is going on here? Now, say you are a person that's watching this video right now, but you did not purposely or consciously pick this video to watch. It came up and you just randomly came across it. Now, I'm talking about things that you don't normally talk about, you don't normally hear about, you don't normally have access to, you wouldn't even think to have access to. You would be, I don't know, watching Roblox or something. Okay, is that I like watching, you will be watching something that entertains you or that is on your frequency level or that is on your timeline of events, because that is what you're currently doing, or that's what you would currently be doing in your specific patch or line of time. Okay, you come across me and I'm talking some stuff you're unfamiliar with, but you decide you want to tap in, but it just seems like, what? And by the way, guys, this is how awakenings happen as well, and I will talk about that on a different video. Okay, but you're like, what is she even talking about? Okay, you may or may not be guided or in tune with what I'm saying. So you may go on about your business and be like, okay, well, shoot, I checked into that person, I don't really understand what she's saying. You're not dealing with my line or time of events. Like, you checked in, but you checked out. Frequencies, to me, different levels of frequencies are like timelines. Okay. It does not necessarily mean that the line of time that we're existing on is a completely different world. Like, oh, whoa, or just way completely in the past, prehistoric or whatever, or way completely in the future. You can take the future and the past and just like dump it in together and get what we have now, like TikTok or something. Y'all, I swear, if you're on TikTok or you listen and you look, you will see them taking like the young kids taking songs, old songs, remixing it or now dancing to it. The point is they're engaging it. They're engaging different timelines, okay? But it's not the same time or line of events that played out in the past. It's a different one, but at the same time, it's the same, it's similar, because the frequency, see, y'all gotta follow me because this is stuff that I have access to, or I know about, or I get downloaded, but then when I come to explain it, it kind of sounds a little bit iffy. But sorry about that. But if you're somebody and you also can elaborate more in the comment section, or you would like to, go ahead, or you would like to talk to me about it, go right ahead. Okay. But the point that I'm trying to make is that yes, at a certain time when the song was, or the show or whatever was made or recorded, there was a certain frequency happening associated with it, a certain type of behavior. So anything that's created is already, like, everything is created with it. Okay. And it leaves like this impression. So even if someone new comes along and they do it, there's always going to be a feel, like a tapped in aspect of it going on, to where when you tap into it, when you're doing it, when you're listening to the music, you're going to tap into some type of source that already occurred. Whatever was going on or whatever was happening, the point of it being made is going to activate it. This is why it's very important to even understand a lot of stuff that plays out when you're trying to keep a nation of people down, a group of people down, a phenotype of people down, whatever. The more you are able to catch them at various points, intersections, dimensions, frequencies of time, right? The more successful you're going to be with defeating them, with dominating them, with keeping them stagnated. Because when if you're gonna play games with your enemies, and you're gonna go there and you're gonna deal with these people, you're not going to you're gonna really try to take your enemy out, especially at some point, because you're like, okay, I'm gonna take them out before they take me out. I don't really want to be talking on this level, guys, but just bear with me. The point is, you're gonna want to devise a plan that, to where you're like, okay, how can I get as many as possible? Like, how can I get them, as best as possible, at the strongest magnitude, no matter if so that they don't ever get back up, or it's very hard for them to get back up and challenge me again. And that's what you're going to go after. So even dealing with pockets of time and frequency, dimensions, we need to have access to all dimensions, right? All levels of our beings. But keeping someone stuck, or keeping someone, capacitated at a certain level, or at a certain time, it stops them completely from developing the way that they should. Okay, now you get degeneration. So it ties into what I'm saying, because what is a very good way to get a large amount of people, to control them, whatever, have access to them, predict pretty much what they're going to do, is put it in something that will continue to program them over time. And see where a lot of people mess up, because they keep wanting to say, oh, well, it's conspiracies and blase blase. I'm beyond that. I am aware that there are a such thing as conspiracies, and everything that you hear you're not supposed to believe. But one thing that you better bet your money on, okay? And I'm talking about, I don't care how much money you got, go ahead and throw it at me, all right? Go ahead and show it. It's not going to buy me, and it's not going to buy me out of what I know. And this is where people mess up, because people are easily bought. They're easily bought. Their real life, their real existence, what's really going on, is easily bought from them, is easily purchased. Now they're finding themselves, playing the makeup game. They're finding themselves stuck somewhere, and thinking and believing that perception of whatever their truth is, whatever they're experiencing, is all that they can experience. It's just like selling your soul. It's just that's what selling your soul is. But anyways, I don't want to, guys, I get carried off, and this is why I have to do multiple videos, and you know that I will do that. But my point is that you see how certain things like music and different things that we learn, like something about music. I don't care when you hear it, and listen, it takes you back to your childhood. it takes you back to like the inner core, the subconscious mind of yourself. When you hear it play, it doesn't matter how old you get, you're going back to a significant place in time. Timeline jumping. You can listen, we are not our bodies, we're more of our minds, whether people believe it or not. This is why we get programmed. We are not just our minds, we're outside of that existence. And being outside of that existence, we are our memories. Just really think about it. A person that loses their memory loses their existence. The only thing I said, I hate y'all know when I said, a person that loses their memory loses their existence, their conscious existence, their awareness. Okay. Now, with that being said, for us to be a set of memories, or really, this is just more evidence of us existing outside of our body, outside of our physical form. With that being said, whenever you hear certain things, whenever you experience certain things, you automatically go, sometimes you get triggered, you go into a trance-like state and you project back, or you travel back in time. This is time travel, people. And you automatically become that little child. You automatically connect back with, or end up back with that lover. Think about it, that you experienced at the time, on that timeline, and those time, or that time of events, automatically. And the quickest way to do it is through something like music. Now, hey, listen, some of y'all was probably watching Stranger Things and watching it and really believing like, okay, well, I'm watching a fairy tale or whatever, like a sci-fi film. But you seen how Vecna was, was snatching souls and bodies until they would play that music. And that music was that thing that brought the people back to themselves. Because the projection, it interfered with the projection. It interfered with, because remember, Vecna wasn't really there in physical form. It was like a impression. He had invaded the mind. Now, we can go and listen. That's a whole nother video. But what I'm saying is that this is timelines. If you quit being, some people is too smart for their own good. You're not using wisdom. You're not using intuition. You're not using nothing. And even like when I hear people these days being like, none of that's true. It's like, I don't even have conversations with them. I can't, because I already know okay, well, the only thing that I can do is teach you, boo. That's it. It's really the only thing that I can, not even teach you. The only thing I can do is hope that you can awaken up to, higher states of being. And it's not limited. It's not limited form of how that happens. But if you choose to believe, see, we'll go and we'll sit in school and we'll pay chumps. Did I just say chumps? I meant lumps. You can say chumps. Lump sums of money to buy a so-called education, to prove that we're worthy, to prove that we're somebody, to prove that we have this knowledge. We'll call it science. Never, listen, we'll and we will be proud of it, but we will say, okay, the solar system and the moon and the sun and things that we see every day, we experience every day, is fake. It doesn't exist. It's a science, boo. It's not, that's pretty much it. It's a science to the way that all this stuff is working. And you can't be so egoic that you're not realizing this. Okay. That's the whole thing. But the timeline, jumping timelines, you can do it. You can do it just by, if you can consciously do it. You can be at a whole different time. And you think that just because you're at a physical point, a physical destination, what you're perceiving. Because remember, you're how we manifest, we remain manifest in with our avatar and these things, and we're put at a particular point, like we're existing in a particular point of in time because of different reasons. And this is another video, because some of us are here for learning purposes. Some of us are here for advancing the planet, advancing the solar system. And that's a whole other video. But that does not, your body, you're not really limited to your body. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this, and I want you to just open your mind. Just think about this, because I'm going to leave you to think about this. Technically, okay, you're not living to your physical body. You can zap yourself out of this existence whenever you need to, but a lot of people will not do that. And they won't do that because before you came here, you were aware of your soul, and you were aware of the fact that you're trying to ascend. You are trying to move past this space and time. You're trying to move past this planet. But when we come in this planet, it is so dense and heavily populated and all these other things that you forget who you are really, and it's designed that way. These creatures, these beings, who the powers that be, however you want to put it, that's infiltrated or is strongly guarding this plane of existence, make sure, like I told you, if you hear about shooting and killing your whole life, then and you hear about doom and gloom, and you hear that you're stuck because there's bills and there are, there's love and there's hurt, people hurt you, all of these same things coming and going, these same things playing over in your mind, you're going to believe that this is what your existence is, and you're going to believe we how we can individually manifest, we can collectively manifest. And our collective manifestation of ourselves is that we are limited to this dense plane, okay, on this rock that we're on, because we collectively are manifesting this. It is put in our heads time and time and time again as we come up. Okay, and the way to start to break that force field is to think differently, to understand ourselves at a higher level, and we collectively come together and we can make a lot of changes. Okay, I know it sounds far-fetched, but I'm from the future. Okay, the timeline video, this is just the initial video. I'm gonna come back. I'm going to do more breakdowns. I'm going to do more about this. But, this is just food for thought. And plus, I like doing this so you guys can come back to see another video. I like when you guys watch my videos. All right. So, that's all for now. I'm Butterfly to Light. And I definitely will be back. Peace.